Hi guys, hope you're all well. Just going to share with you a junk journal that I've made recently, and this one is a journal that I'm keeping for my own personal use, and you'll see once we start flicking through it, I've actually started to use it. This one is made, I was inspired by some paper that I received from Laurie, who's just the girl from the Bay here on YouTube. Hi Laurie. The paper I think is from Tim Holtz collection called something like Wallflower, and it's absolutely stunning, and she very kindly gifted me some of this paper, and I loved it so much and I was very tempted to hoard it, but I thought no, I'm going to make a journal out of it that I'm going to use, so that's what I've done. The journal inside pages are 6x4. It's about 6¼ by 4¼ outside dimensions, and I've just used this time some packaging. It was a box from cereals for the cover, so it's not quite as thick as my usual chipboard that I use, but I just thought, you know, it's because I'm going to use it myself, it would be fine. I covered it using some paper that I had in my stash that kind of went colour-wise with the papers that are inside. So I think this is a basic grey paper, but I'm not sure what collection it is. It was just some random, you know, an odd piece that I had. And I've used a digital download, which is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Yet again, I thought it went perfectly with the collection, having the bird and the bird cage, and I just thought it was a pretty image to have on the front. And I've used some lace just to go over the spine. Now when I photographed it, it didn't have this seam binding on the edges, but as I've been using the book, I noticed it was beginning to crack down these edges. So I've just added this seam binding either side just to sort of reinforce it. This blue seam binding also came from Laurie. When I did a swap with her, the journal she gave me was wrapped up really beautifully, and this was wrapped around it, so of course I had to save it, and it's coming perfectly for this project. So I'll open it up. As you see, it's kind of just a wrap round closure, but it is attached under the lace. So there's that beautiful image, and we'll go inside. I'll give a quick flick through, just make sure that you can see okay. Right, so inside cover, I've made a pocket and just tucked a couple of bits in here. This is from a Tim Holtz vellum ephemera pack, and when we go through the journal, you'll see why I've added that, because it's very similar to one of the images that's actually on the paper collection. And this is just an index card that I've coffee stained. Don't know if you can just about make out the doily image where I laid a doily on. And what I've done, I've just used it for a few ideas for journaling. So if I have a day where I can't think anything particularly I want to journal, I can look at this and think, oh yeah, I'll do that. You know, it's just a kind of a prompt list. And this is the first page. Isn't that paper gorgeous? These tabs, well, there's only one on it at the moment. This was a free download that I got a few years back, and unfortunately I can't remember where I got it from. And to be honest, I've got, like, it's not even kept on my computer. I've got a print off of it, and I just copy it as and when I need to use them. So I've added that, and then first page I've created a tuck spot, and it's got a little postcard in it. Some of these are free images from, as I say, Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and some of them are from downloads that I've purchased from Marion Smith. So and my first page, I started writing my plans for 2015. They're under there. I've just left that there so it keeps it a bit private. Second page, My daughter and I, we were just playing with my camera on my phone, so I just put a couple of pictures in there. And this is obviously a coffee dyed doily, which was stitched into the binding, and I've just actually secured it now with one of the photos, so it's just then created a little tuck spot. Little Martha Stewart butterflies that have been punched out from the paper, and I think this is a graphic 45, one of their basics flowers, or staples I think they call it, isn't it? That's one of their flowers. All the paper has been stained with a mixture of coffee, tea, and some of the darker ones have had a touch of cinnamon in them as well, so I kind of use a bit of everything. My next page is a flip out, and I've actually done a list of things that I'm currently doing, so like listening to, watching, reading, etc. I've seen a few people do that, and I thought it's quite good to do that, and then at a later date when you revisit it you can see the differences. You'll also see that I've done some stamping throughout the journal, but it's only very lightly because I wasn't sure whether when the time comes to write on it I might want to actually write over the stamped image, so I thought it could be more of a background shadow rather than an actual dominant stamped image on the page. So and then I've used the combination of copy paper and lined, which, as I say, I've tea stained. Some of the pages are a bit shorter. It's where I've stained an A4 size, and these are the bits I've cut off to actually make the pages for the journal, and I thought I'd add them anyway. And this has just been edged with some washi tape. It's a cute banner stamp. This is one of the big glassine bags that I've added, and in here are some more of those tab downloads that I've cut out and put the tape on ready, so that when we come to February I've got one in here ready to use, and I can just add it to the page and carry on from there. So it's not going to be a journal that I particularly use every day, but I thought I'd section it by month anyway. Another very faint image. I've used the Tim Holtz distress distress ink pads to do these images, that's why they're so faint. Next page I've got another little glassine bag with some more of the Martha Stewart butterflies, so I can stick them through the journal. It keeps some sort of continuity through the book. Made a little tuck spot, and then there's a little bit there, so if I've got a larger piece that I want to tuck in, it can slide between the two areas. Excuse me. And this die cut here, my friend Demi bought me some of or gave me some of these for Christmas, and they're actually for little cupcakes, but these little die cut bird cages I thought were perfect to make a little, use as a tuck spot. So that's what I've done, just cut 3 of them out. This is obviously the paper, it's really pretty, and I've made a little pocket there, which is a Marion Smith download. One of the I think it's jelly bean soup punch or die cut little envelopes, which we used an old paper shopping bag to make these, so that's a really cute idea, and just a little tag off of something that I've tucked in there. And this is another one of those die cuts, but this time I used some music paper out of a book that we bought. So, and this is another image from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Just tuck that in. These things aren't necessarily going to stay where I've tucked them, but I've just used it as a way of filling the journal for the time being, and then once I start using it I'll move things around to suit. This is obviously the other side of that glassine bag, and I've just got a few little bits and pieces in there just ready to use. More tea dyed or coffee dyed paper, and this is just a small section of paper. I'm not sure how I'm going to use that at the moment, so I've just clipped a tag on there, and then when I come to get to this stage in the journal, I can decide how I want to use it. So more paper, and this is the other side of the doily, and I've just used that as a tuck spot. The little bird stamp there, I'm not sure how well you can see that. And then under here I've done a little butterfly, and this is just a little envelope that I purchased the pack. I think it was 5 little envelopes, all the same, and I just thought it's really sweet, and with the bird it goes so perfectly with the paper, so I've tucked that in there. And this is another pocket, and that's the end of the first signature. I forgot to mention there's 4 signatures in here, and so I've got a little journaling card and a little vellum pocket with a couple more journaling cards that I've bought somewhere along the line and not used, so I thought I'd tuck them into there in case I wanted to use them. So this is the second signature, and you can see from this colour here, that's how I've come across using the colours on the front of the book, because it's just matches perfectly. More coffee dyed paper, and obviously this is a rectangular doily. Now what I've done with that is that's the actual size of the doily, and obviously if I folded it in half that would be too big, so I'll show you in a minute when I get to the other side of it how I've overcome that. Another one of these Tim Holtz ephemera pieces, and this is the other piece of the small paper that, and I've just used some washi tape to create a little tag. And this is the paper that actually I thought looked very similar, an image to that vellum piece, so thought I'd use that. This is one of the index cards, and this is one of the little envelopes that I've made with a little downloaded journal spot inside. Another flip out page, and the other side of the index card and the patterned paper. And then here we go with the doily. So as I say, I folded it in half, and then I've actually created an area like that, so that way my page wouldn't be too big, it would fit perfectly in the journal. And then I've tucked that in as before, as I would any other signature, between the pages. And then when I've come to work on the journal, I've actually, this flap here I've stuck here, so that's then created a little pocket as well. So, and as I say, obviously that makes that paper, or that part of the doily, fit the journal. So I'm not sure if that's any use to anyone to do that, but I just thought I'd show what I've done there anyway, and hopefully I've explained it clearly. This is a strip which I'm thinking I may use, it's just an off-cut of paper, but may use as a belly band at some stage. I've just left that tucked in the pages there. And that's the second signature. So on to the third signature, more coffee dyed paper, lined, another glassine bag. And then I've got a pocket here that I've created, and this is just a journal spot from a paper collection, which I seem to think it's Graphic 45, but I'm not sure of the actual collection. Yet again, it was just an odd one-off 12 by 12 sheet, and it had all these journaling spots on it, so but it just fitted perfectly in the journal. You can see here, I think, where I've actually had the doilies laying on the paper as I've tea and coffee dyed it. I just like that effect that it gives. And this is one of the smaller pages from the, or one of the smaller images that comes in the paper collection. Just edged this with some washi tape. As I say, I've not done a huge amount in here because obviously it's going to be a working journal, and being as I've got all the stuff myself anyway, I can just add to it as I go. This is another of Ephemera's Vintage Garden downloads, a little pocket with a couple of postcards in there. That's really cute, and just tuck that under that paper clip. It's gorgeous imagery on there. More paper, more, or the other half of the glassine bag, which is ready to fill if once I have something to go in there. More lined paper, another stamped image. This is obviously another image, and then this page here is a fold out page. I've just used some seam binding and a little paper clip to hold that all together. Just like all the texture of having the seam binding and stuff in here. And then the final signature, made a pocket here, more tea and coffee dyed paper. This is another of those vellum pieces from that ephemera pack, and this time I've just attached it with some washi tape so it makes a little flap there. This is another one of those smaller images from the paper pack that I've just added as an extra sort of area. Some more paper, another some more of the obviously the pattern paper, and this is another small piece, so I've added that tag there. Whether I'll leave it there or not, I don't know, but I've just slipped that in there in case I want to attach it. Another one of the doilies, more patterned, more lined paper, and another one of those little envelopes. This is the other half of the doily, which, as you can see, I've not actually attached anything to, so you can see how it all folds out there, if you know, which I could leave like that actually, because while it's folded it could stay in there, but then if you wanted to pull it out. But I'm also thinking I've got this piece of paper, it would be quite a good way of attaching an extra page, so I've left that there in case that's what I decide I want to do. More of the tea dyed paper, that's lovely. And yet again, this is another one of those ephemera pieces from the Tim Holtz pack. Little bird cage stamp, another fold out, and then in the back here I've pulled out a couple of nice note cards that I was given in the envelopes, because I thought they'd match perfectly as well, so I've just tucked those in case I want to use them. And we've got another corner pocket there. So that's the journal. Hopefully I've explained how I've done it clearly enough. If you've got any questions, please ask, and no doubt, well, I will be back again quite soon with another journal, because I've got one that I've made for a swap on Junk Journal Junkies. So thanks for watching, and as I say, any questions or comments, I really appreciate it. You can just leave them below. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.